Hi there, and welcome to Rolonda on Demand on YouTube. Who knew? I have a great guest for you today. You all know her as the woo woo girl, the funny comedian, actress, coach, author. Kim Coles is joining us. She is not only just one of the most delightful entertainers and comedians that you may know, she's also a very dear friend of mine. In fact, do you know that our parents, her mom and my dad went to grade school together? That's how far back we go. Yeah, we've got North Carolina roots. And we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about health. We're going to talk about how she's surviving the coronavirus. And she has a couple of little announcements and secrets to drop on us today. We're also going to talk about how it was Kim Coles who actually got me into the comedy business. And we're also going to speak about how we met on the streets of Broadway. Yes, from New York to LA, Kim Coles and I have got a lot of history. And something exciting is happening next week. Kim is launching her very own summit. A summit of conversation summit. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. I joined her talking about my reinvention retreat and the importance of reinvention. She's got other folks who are joining her talking about finances. And we're just going to talk about everything today right here on Rolonda on Demand. Please let me remind you, just don't follow me here. Follow me on all forms of social media at Rolonda Watts. That's ROLONDA WATTS. Follow me on all forms of social media, and let's for sure stay connected during this coronavirus. I certainly hope today's conversation will give you some laughs, some good information, and just something to help you pass your day while on lockdown. So let's get to Kim Coles today on Rolonda on Demand.
It's road time.
Welcome to Rolonda on Demand.
I love my podcast because we not only tackle the tough issues of the day, but we deal with hot topics, celebrity interviews, and information that can help you in your business or relationships.
This is Rolonda on
All
Demand.
that stuff.
I'm wearing no lashes. I wish I was wearing lashes today. Nothing.
I don't have on lashes.
It's a light B. Oh, you look gorgeous. Okay.
I just put on liner and a lot of this.
A lot of this.
Yeah, I got a couple of things I got to do. But anyway, Kim, I am so glad that you are here on Rolonda on Demand in the middle of my kitchen here.
I'm delighted to be here with you, ma'am.
How are you dealing with, you're always so up and bubbly and positive. How are you dealing with this lockdown, this pandemic, this coronavirus?
I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but I got to tell you, there's only a moment. I had maybe one moment of like, what is this? And I'll tell you what the moment was. My sister-in-law called me from New York and said, they're thinking about shutting down Broadway. And I was like,
Oh, no.
And then I got the call, they're shutting down Broadway. I was like, oh, this thing is no joke. Oddly enough, I mean, I live in LA, but being that, I'm from New York and you and I spent a lot of time in New York. And the first time I met you was on Broadway, which we'll talk about. So that really hit me as like, oh, snap. But I have been really upbeat about all this. I've been saying, so I'm going to do what they tell us to do. I'm isolating. I'm quarantining. I'm not going out much. I go and forage. I come back. I'm getting stuff done at home. I'm cleaning out closets. I'm staying positive and powerful. Like, what can I do during this time that is really feeding my mind, my soul, my time, all of the things. So I'm actually really strangely good. And I don't know. And most of my friends are too. It's interesting. I only have one friend that's in freak out mode. And I'm like, I don't have time to freak out because what I do now is going to make a difference for when we all come out of this. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I feel the same way. I find that I'm busier than ever. I'm more creative than ever. And we're reaching out and touching in different kinds of ways. I mean, friendships are changing, dating is changing. I mean, it's just a whole different thing. But I will admit this, that I will have those moments when I'm like, boy, life is never going to be the same. And I think it's part of the mourning of, change is always an adjustment. And there's sometimes that mourning that goes with leaving things behind the way they used to be.
Right. I have a friend who's a grief and loss expert.
Mhm.
And she says, we're experiencing loss. We're experiencing a grief. And even though you may not have a loved one who's passed away, there is a loss of the way things were, and confusion and unsureness, if that's a word, about how things are going to be. For example, how much longer do we have to wear masks when we go places? I had a hot flash yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to laugh. I mean, we're not going into summer. So and my friend made these gorgeous masks, and they're really thick and they're beautiful. But I was like, I can't breathe. How long will this happen? And that's just on the small scale. But again, what's going to be different? And so I'm just staying open to whatever the possibilities are. You and I know that there are great companies that were started in the darkest of times.
That's right.
Great successful companies that came out of the Depression, out of the 2008 recession, and so I'm just holding on to positivity and possibilities.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting because you and I both are very much into our followers who have followed us after all of these years, from woo 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 to the Rolonda show to all the different things. We've been really blessed to have people who have followed us, and I think as a lot of artists, people feel that people who have followed them, they want to give something back at this time. They want to help people at this time. At least I know you and I feel that sense of everybody's kind of like, whoa, what, and helping people get through that.
Yeah.
You've got a really exciting conference coming up. I'm excited to be part of it, but I'm not the only one. You've got some really powerful women involved. Erica Alexander, your bestie. You can name the rest, but tell us about your conference that you're coming up with.
Sure. Well, listen, I'm not a first responder. I'm not out saving lives. And I think that there are people who think, well, what can I do? What can I do if I'm not, there helping, right there on the, I'm not a cashier at a grocery store. God bless them for doing the work. So what can I do? It's all about finding your own using your own gifts and talents. And so I thought, well, I've got some amazing, powerful friends. And what if I were to gather all of them and call it the Captivating Conversation Summit? And so I did. It's captivatingconversations.live. And each one of my besties, and I have besties that in several different realms. Besties, like, girls I went to high school with, and they're in this conference. My biz besties, who are people I've learned from over the years, business techniques, how to build a business, how to have an online business. And then some of my Hollywood besties. And I was like, they're all amazing people. Let's just get together and give. Let's just get together and share. And so you came and did, and so there's these interviews that I've recorded, and then there'll be a live element on a Facebook page where each of you come and share your expertise. You came and told stories about how you got started, how the name Rolonda show was named Rolonda. Like, if you don't know, if you don't ask you that, you don't know. And
you got some real jewels there.
Real jewels. And also, you have been, I've admired you for forever. And I've admired how you have shifted. You've taken all your gifts and talents and you shift and do something new, and you shift and do something new, but it's not new. It's all still pieces of you. You've been creative and wonderful. And I think other people need to hear that, see that, and go, wait a minute, that lives in me also. So
but something that, Kim, I sit back and look at, we were doing this last year. We were talking about the reinvention retreat, and you look at, sometimes you get teed up in life for something that may be a time that may be more impactful. And this certainly is. My whole voiceover career was started from being on strike. Remember when the actors went on strike? I'd given up my talk show. I'd given up the news, moved from New York to LA. I was on Sister Sister. I was jamming, had an Alka-Seltzer commercial, and then Patuya, the longest strike in Hollywood history, hits. Yeah. And you remember that? I was on the picket line giving pizza to people. But I had to come up with something new, and my voiceover career. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, sometimes my voice works more than I do. But that's part of the recreation process.
I didn't know that it came out of that. I didn't know that it came out of that time.
Yeah, I said, what other gifts do I have? Because I can't act right now. They're not doing commercials. Nobody's writing anything. So what can I do? Yeah. And I started taking workshops and getting ready for the next thing. So this is a fertile time. Yeah. And you always talk about that, finding I know bliss and gratitude is a lot of part of your positivity. But in
Really.
this time when people are so uncertain, what do you say? I mean, you and I have had enough experiences in change. We're actors. We have to be ready for something.
All the
But,
time.
but what do you say to people who are like, I don't know what life is going to look like on the other side?
Well, I would say number one, none of us knows what life is going to be like on the other side. But I would say number one, we're built for this. We're all, humans, as much as we think we don't like change, change is almost always upon us. There's a change of the seasons. There's a change of your menopause. There's a change in your relationship. There's a change of hair. And so it's almost, the way I look at it is I look at areas in my life where this experience is similar to this other experience. So the time that my parents were divorced, or the time that I was divorced twice, or whatever I've gone through, didn't I always come through it?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I always have some resilience or resourcefulness? Didn't I figure it out? I figured it out before. I'll figure it out again.
This ain't our first time at the rodeo.
This ain't our first time at the rodeo. And that's what life is about. And what's interesting is this time we're all, that strike you spoke about, that affected me, that affected you, that affected lots of people, that affected people at home who didn't get to see their shows they wanted to see. But this pandemic has affected us globally. So we as a global community will figure things out. We'll have to come together as friends and people who want to share, like we are on the Captivating Conversation Summit, or we'll form groups, or I know people who are going out and feeding the elderly in their neighborhood. They're coming together, making some potluck meals and delivering it to all of their Sadies and Esthers and Georges who can't get out the house.
That's right.
I use those as old names. I'm sure there's some
well, I saw those people when you said that. Especially
Yes.
Esther. I saw Esther.
So that's the thing. I'm so
Feed Esther.
Thank you so much for the pot of stew. It was absolutely delicious. I know you stay back 6 feet, darling, but thank you so much. Thank you, darling.
Leave it at the door.
Leave it at the door. So we do what we can. And so I think it's just about looking within yourself for the time that you were resilient, the time that you figured it out. And that builds confidence, I think. Like, wait a minute. I'm meant for this. I can get through this. And it's going to be difficult at times, but also to look for the resources. There are resources available. If you need to apply for unemployment, then go right ahead. If you need to apply for these other loans and situations, like really canvas the interwebs for ways to get help and help each other. So,
and I think more ways are going to come as this thing gets longer. Pray it doesn't, but if it does, there are going to be other new programs that are going to come in place to stay in contact with that. By the way, on Rolonda On Demand, we've covered some of those things. Girl, I talked to Dr. Lynn Richardson, who is just such an amazing financial wizard.
Yeah.
She's helping us start at-home businesses. So you think about people taking their dreams. I mean, if you really think about this is a chance for, if you ever wanted to take that chance, this could be that time. I think there are going to be some very positive things that come out of it.
I think so too. The other good thing about this summit that we have coming up, that you're a part of, you're one of my key ladies. I
cover the reinvention area.
and thinking about yourself in that way. I've got, I would say, about 4 people who cover at-home business alone. One who's going to cover network marketing. I know people think of it as pyramid schemes. There's nothing scheme about it. You're building a business and you're helping other people build business.
Look at it. Everything is network marketing. They call it that multi-level marketing. Everything is, because we don't read the paper anymore. I tell you, I say, girl, where'd you get that? You say Ross. I go, which one?
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
It's word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
You might as well get something from Ross.
Relationship marketing.
Right.
I've also got another lady who's talking about growing your business online. Another one who talks about social media strategies you can use. And so this is going to be, I'm hoping, a one-stop shop for people to come and just get their mind filled, get their soul filled up with laughter and joy and good resources to get started. And they can come and join your reinvention retreat. Yes,
that's right. Well, I think this is a time where just giving back and sharing knowledge. I think, Kim, what we're doing is letting people know they're not alone, and that you're not the only one who's come through the struggle, and he will do it. You will get through it. And I'm proud of us doing that, because I think people will resonate with that. Um,
What if somebody wants to write a book?
exactly. You know what?
But
I am so glad
Sinclair-
you just happened to pull that book up. Y'all, that's my novel, Destiny Lingers. I love how we're promoting each other. This is like tremendous promotion. But I hope you're reading Destiny Lingers. You know what? One of the things that I talk about, and you, Kim, you're good at this also, and we do it in all of our crafts, is using our voice. How are we using our voices? And whether it's to tell that story, and I'm working on the audiobook part of it now, or it's a voiceover career, which saved me when I was in transition. And let me tell you, voiceover is really big right now. But or maybe it's because you're angry about the recent lynching of the black man. You want to join politics because now. But using your voice is so important. I think standing up and being confident in any place, even when you're pitching your new at-home business to somebody, you're going to need to use your voice with confidence. What do you say on that tip?
Yeah, you know what I think? I think now more than ever, being visible, taking a stand for something. There's so many of us that go, no, I'm not the one to be out in the public eye. And it doesn't even have to be the public eye. It's just really about, because not everybody's going to be up on the platform, but it is about taking a stand for something in your life and taking a stand and sharing with others, because you then, and that helps to create a community, or you can join a community and add your voice. I think that this pandemic, more than anything, has reminded us that we need each other and we need connection more than ever. Mm-hmm. And so therefore your voice does count. We know that we have an election coming up. Our voices are going to count big time. Without getting political, you're going to have to stand up and make your voice heard. And if you don't like something, then you can be a part of the change. You can
be part of the change. That's right. Well, change is coming on so many levels. You know, if you kind of keep a positive outlook of it, it can be a lot of fun.
It can be, sure. It's like, well, who do I want to be now? The other piece of it is that it's a choice. Mm-hmm. We keep forgetting that we have a choice to live the life that we want to live. And so it may mean a little bit of work. I actually think it's less work to step up and be who I want to be, and step into the truth of who I am and help others and be visible, and than to stay small and quiet. Because
and Kim, you will push people. Now, another reinvention that I did was going to comedy. And I always give this to Kim. Kim was the one who got me up on the stage, y'all.
And you know what's funny? You have this beautiful quality you have a quick mind. You can improv. And so we were playing at the Comedy Union, and it was like, let's invite Rolonda to come and play with the Kim and Kim show. It's Kim Whitley and Kim Coles. And we were looking for great women to play with, just to come and have joy and, make the audience laugh. It's a little comedy club here in LA. And you got up on stage and you went for it. I said, look at her. Because you're so creative and you're fearless. You're fearless.
Well, it was fun playing with you. We were improvising and it was just hilarious. But this is where Kim got me. Bridesmaid party at the same comedy club. Kim is having all of these comedians get up on stage, and we're roasting her and doing comedy and stuff. And Kim goes, "You need to get on stage." I'm like, "I'm not going to get on stage with all those comedians. No. I'm not going to lift my voice. I'm too scared. Oh, they're better than me. I can't do that." Kim said, you said you always wanted to try it, and here is your chance. I know you got 5 minutes of funny. I got up there 17 minutes later.
I said, we can't get her off the stage. Get the hook.
I didn't know there was a light that went on.
No, there's a light that they put on to go get off the stage. But the truth is, the audience was loving you. And I know when I host a show, if the audience is loving the show, and if they were getting a chance to see something brand new, all the other comedians they knew and they had seen, they were seeing you take your geniusness and put it in a whole new format. They were loving it. It was like, get her off the stage. No, let her stay a little bit longer. The show's going to go late. You were the star of that evening.
I apologize, because at that time, Kim, I didn't know that you wrote comedy. I was just up there talking about menopause. I was so pissed off at my body. And number two, I didn't know there was a light. And so I said, if I had that much fun and I got that much encouragement and people like my Kim believe in me, I'm going to take a workshop. So I started studying and writing and it really kicked off a whole nother trajectory of my using my voice. And I just want to thank you for that, number one. Apologize to you, number two. And number three, I want to say thank you for being part of my reinvention. I mean, that's what friends are for, and that's what we do, and we support each other, and we do that and support others as well. So that's really cool.
I think if we see a spark in someone, and I didn't know you were going to go off and do this. I didn't know that you were going to go off and really pour in. Here's the other thing. Like, you didn't just go, I'm Rolonda, I can get on stages, because you would get booked on your name alone. But the fact that you went and took classes, that you invested in yourself, that you poured into yourself so that you would become the best of the best. I know that you do not get booked at these premier clubs like, Caroline's on
Broadway. Yeah, I did a show.
And I know, because I used to get booked at, I haven't been doing as much straight stand-up as possible. Right. It's one of those clubs that you got to knock on the doors a long time to get in, and you got in because you were good. And so I want to commend you for that.
Thank you so much. Now, we have a Broadway story. Didn't we meet on Broadway? No wonder we cried when the lights went out on Broadway.
The lights went dim on Broadway. I met you and I've told this story before. You were my newswoman. Rolonda Watts, Eyewitness News.
For those of you who didn't know, I was also a news reporter, an investigative news reporter covering murder, mob, and mayhem, and an anchor woman back in New York. That was another life.
And I just loved you. You were sassy, and you were, likable, and you were brown. You know what I mean? You were me. You were me. And I was like, I love this. Okay. And one time I was coming from a comedy club late one night in the club, walking on Broadway, and there was Rolonda Watts on Broadway going, Oba, 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 Oba. There was a show called Oba, Oba. And you had obviously just come out, and you were dancing, because the girls were dancing and they were gorgeous, and there you were dancing. And
I was hanging out with my gay boys, so we were dancing down Broadway, honey.
Rolonda Watts, Oba, Oba. I fell in love. I was like, so that makes her really well-rounded. So here she is, this hard-hitting, murder, mob, and mayhem.
Murder, mobs, and mayhem, honey. I covered mafia, all of that back in the 80s. But
it's so relatable. And I was like, and then later I don't even know how we became friends, or I don't know what the next connection was.
Well, we just always admired each other. And also, you were a big TV star. And for so long, I wanted to be an actor, but I had to keep that quiet because I was an anchor woman covering mayhem and murder. And you just didn't mix the two. And at some point, you get tired of people telling you what to do, and you do your own thing. I mean, hook, nook, or cranny, you do make your own life. So tell me about the love life, or how's dating during isolation for you? How are relationships, friendships? What's going on?
Well, having a hot flash even as we speak. Well,
you know something? I think hot flashes is life's way of preparing us for hell. I have never felt temperatures that hot in my life. You having the night sweats?
I have, and I take herbal formulas to sort of calm it down, but I haven't been taking. I think I'm just having a flush.
Girl, listen, we don't even have to go to the gym anymore. Just go to bed.
Thank you.
Just sweat.
Thank you.
You'll just sweat there.
Wake up and the sheets are drenched. Like, what is this? It's the worst part. But the best part is, so here's the good news. A relationship that I had moved on. You were a bridesmaid in that.
I was a bridesmaid.
Thank you. And had the shower at your house. I'm so sorry that you went through all that
Well, that's okay. But I'm glad that it ended in an up note, because what did I say at the bridesmaids party?
You offered to kick his butt.
I said, it takes an entire village to raise a good child. And it only takes one person in that village to whoop your ass if you mistreat him. Yeah, we were tough girls at the.
It was you were letting him know, like, don't come in here.
Don't mess
around. So there was no violence needed, no murder, mayhem, or mob.
We didn't get the phone call. Okay.
But we moved on, and I just wasn't even looking. I was like, whatever. I'm about to be free and breezy out here, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna share it, because I think in the summit, in the Captivating Conversation Summit, we're actually going to reveal ourselves as a couple. So I won't tell you who.
Oh, you've got to. Do we know this person that you're with?
You will know this person. You will know this person will be. You will. His presence will be known. He happens to be sitting off to the side right now.
Wait a minute, so you dating a celebrity person?
No, he's not a celebrity.
But we know him?
You don't know him, but he may. I'm not saying I don't.
Girl, you gotta give me the exclusive now. Turn that camera around and let me see it.
Oh, no.
Why, he got his pajamas on?
Wait.
So you met somebody before lockdown. How did that happen?
Before lockdown. Actually, we started working together. He is a brand specialist, a brand builder. He's a coach. He's many things. I brought him into my business, not knowing that I was going to bring him all the way in my business.
All the way. Yeah, now we all in your business.
My business to help build my brand, to help get my brand to the next level, to help the next level of reinvention. And business turned into friendship, and friendship turned into love, and we decided to cohabitate, and then the coronavirus happened.
What? Are you gonna know if you really like each other right now? Any surprises?
No, let me say this to you. You get to know each other very, very well because we're on lockdown. It's a lockdown in our relationship as well. It's a lockdown.
I love it.
Lockdown. You will meet him. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you tell him that don't let me have to put, you know, he knows where I'm coming from.
And he loves you, by the way.
I am that sister. I will whoop your ass, you mess with my girls.
He's making a face like, well, I'm going to be good to her. Don't worry.
Listen, I tell people, I said, I am from North Carolina and New York City. So you'll get a New York City ass whooping by way of a country girl.
A
oh, God.
But let me say this to you, though. This is how I know this one's different. You will not need to intervene in any way. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, how do you know when it's right?
I know because I shifted my energy. And I know because he is completely different from anyone else I have ever dated. And when I tell you that both of my husbands were pretty much the same guy, I was like, at least I'm consistent. The guys I've been dating for the past billion years were all pretty much the same. It's because I don't want to, cast aspersions against all the lovers, but I just made some decisions that were not the right decisions for me. And this time, by taking myself completely out of the game and working on myself and working on what my level of worthiness is and the level of what I require. And that is the key. You have to set a boundary, set a standard for what you require, and nothing else will do. I won't even say nothing less, because these people are not less. They're just not the right.
Just nothing else. I like what you said. Nothing else will do. And so what is that? Your deal breakers? I mean, tell me the work you did on yourself, because I think I could use a little work in that department. So what?
So here's one for me. Partnership. There's got to be partnership. I watched my parents. They were married for 17 years and then they got divorced. But when they were together, I watched the dance of partnership. They were partners as much as they were friends and lovers and all the other things. There was partnership. I am no longer interested in a relationship where I got to do this much and you do this much.
Amen.
Or vice versa. If honesty and integrity and smushiness. I need the smushiness. I need smushy because I give smushy. I want somebody.
Right. I know. You're that girl. Do you make a list? Did you make a list of like, these are my deal breakers? I got to have these.
I didn't, but I think in my soul I did, because I saw what I've been doing for years and years and years and years. And I just didn't sit down and write, because I keep saying I'm going to keep a journal and I start one, no, don't finish. Or I keep making a list in my head. And then I was just like, oh, that doesn't work for me. I will no longer deal with it.
But you know what? But you thought about it, Kim. I think so many times we launch out into life, whether it's a job or a relationship and we don't really think things through. I mean, I think this is a beautiful time that has given us things to really think about.
To be still. Like, for example, there's a particular package I like. I like them chocolatey delicious. If you look at since high school, chocolate.
Let's see him. Just give us a little peek.
This brother is mocha. He's not chocolate. He's my first unchocolate guy in years. I'm like, I like him dark skinned. I was like, you know what? Let me push back the boundaries of candy here.
Right. Let me open up my mind.
He's caramel coated. As opposed to, he's laughing. In fact, I have a friend who calls him part of the mocha mafia.
All right now.
So it's not chocolate, whatever. I started looking for what was on the inside rather than just what's on the outside.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to meet him, so we're going to meet him during the summit.
Yes, you will.
All right, now I'll be tuning in. I will be tuning in for sure. Okay, so the summit is starting next week. We got that down. We got the love life. How's your health? A lot of us, the Black community is getting hit really hard with coronavirus. And I don't know about you, but I'm starting to use my kitchen to cook a lot more vegetarian stuff. I got an air fryer. I fried up some turnips the other day that were delicious. I'm trying to eat more healthy, veggie kind of thing because we may be having a shortage on meat anyway. How are you looking at food and health?
Now, good news for me is I saw your video on that. I'm not a meat eater. I eat chicken and fish, but we also know that there's gonna be some shifts. So number one, we planted a garden. We have a little garden.
Yes, that's something to do now. Oh, that's so romantic. I want somebody I can plant a garden with.
I mean, he's looking at me. He did most of the digging.
You got some friends.
What's the face? He did the digging, but I go and talk to the plant. So that's number one. So I am more conscious. We're getting less. He calls them whams and zuzus. So that's snacking food. So yes, we're eating a lot of popcorn, but we stopped buying all the cookies, all the things. I've begun working out on my little patio. Now, in LA, it's going to get really hot really soon.
Right.
We went to a liquidator and bought some equipment. I have never had a home gym like this. I now have a treadmill. I have some weights. We're looking for an elliptical. We have a bike, a recumbent bike. I have a trainer that I work with on Zoom or on
I
WhatsApp.
love it.
And I have not been exercising for months, and now I'm doing it. I've been saying that when I throw open the doors from the COVID experience, I want to have a healthier body, a healthier mind, and all of the things.
I love that visual. When I fling open the doors and make my entrance to the world, what will that look like?
Right.
That's a great question to ask. What will that look like?
I've been asking myself that from the beginning. Who do I want to be when this is all over, whatever it looks like?
Yes.
I bought a bike. I haven't been on a bike in 35 years. Walmart.com had a bike. I bought the Susan G. Komen bike. It's pink and fabulous. I haven't been on it yet because I'm scared because I think I've forgotten how to ride a bike.
I see you on a pink. You sure it wasn't leopard or the purple leopard bike?
I looked for one like that. That's so funny.
I mean, if you know Kim, love the purpleism.
On my desk right now. Oh yes, I do. My turban that I was wearing before we got on live.
You look like Miss Cleo. Follow me now.
Follow me now. Yes. So I'm just making some real radical changes in my life. And we just bought an air fryer too. Give it a go. Yeah, I'm so
great. Put some chicken wings in there. Kim, I love you. Anything else you want to say? Because I know you're busy. The conference is kicking off next week. Yes. And y'all, there's some wonderful women involved. Do you have any guys in there?
There are some guys. And I'll just say, I've given you a hint that one of the gentlemen in the summit could be the gentleman we're talking about.
It was a trick question. I knew he was somewhere around. But y'all tune in. It's going to be great. Kim, tell us where we can find and follow it and do all that great stuff.
All the things. It is www.captivatingconversations.live. I forgot when is your talk? Yeah, and everything is scheduled. You just go in, you pick the talks you want to listen to. Actually, we talked so long and so strong, I broke us up into 2 conversations. And
good.
And you get to be part of the VIP. There's a VIP option, and a portion of the investment that people make will go to a domestic abuse charity, because now more than ever, people are locked in with their abusers. And so I wanted to be a part of not only giving people resources and conversations and fun and ideas, but also transfer some of that to people who really need it right now, like, money in the hands of families who need help to get out or resources.
Yeah, and to know that we care. And to know that we care. And that's wonderful. You're so right. I'm about to do a podcast on that, Kim. It's just amazing how much crime has gone up during this. And, we hope it'll get better, but anyway, we're there for those who are victimized for sure. Love you, honey. Anything else you want to say?
I love you, and you will meet him. I know you're wanting You'll meet him. He's having his coffee.
I'm like waiting for the camera to accidentally turn that way, and then we have to see him. Oh, caught him.
Because you're perfect to be the leader that you are. You're perfect to help other people do what you do, because we just got to be fearless, jump in and do it. Give it a try. Yeah. You're willing to try anything. It's one of my favorite things about you. And you have to.
And it's benefited me. And I just want to give people, you know how I can't give you courage because that's something you give yourself, but I can certainly encourage you to use courage and do what you got to do. Courage is the greatest of all virtues.
Indeed.
Says Dr. Maya Angelou. And on that note, you got to give us a one woo 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 before we bye.
I'll give everybody a woo 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 and much love. Stay healthy, stay well, stay positive, stay powerful, and see you during the summit. I can't wait to have you there.
I know it's going to be great. Kim, thank you so much, honey, and have a beautiful day. And tell Mystery Man we will meet him at the summit.
Yes, you will. Yay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, honey. And thank you, everybody, for listening to Rolonda On Demand. Be sure to follow me, not only here on YouTube, but also if you just like the audio version of things, go to RolondaOnDemand.com. Check out my podcast there. There's some really good stuff. Like I was saying, you can also check out some really good business programs. Attorney Sarah Azari helps us go through some of the government programs being offered. Let's see, maybe some of those still fit into what you need. And remember, there'll be other programs coming out, so just stay abreast. Also, Dr. Lynn Richardson is on Rolonda On Demand talking about how to start an at-home business. There's tons of stuff. Coronavirus and health. Coronavirus and friendships. It's affecting our friendships and relationships. So go on over there and check it out, and follow me on every form of social media at Rolonda Watts, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, you know, all of them. So thanks so much for tuning in again, and please subscribe. And now go out there. No, don't go out there. Just stay at home, stay put, and still do something good. I'm Rolonda Watts. Peace out.